Good evening, my friends. This is Paul, and today is a monumentous occasion for me because I'm finally showing video footage of all 1,303 spirits currently in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And the game is showing no signs of slowing down. There will probably be spirits of upcoming DLC fighters, plus additional spirits based on upcoming Nintendo games. I'm sure Luigi's Mansion 3, the next Animal Crossing, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Games that were just announced are probably going to have a little bit of representation here and there. So right now I'm just slowly going through the list of spirits, and as the video progresses, I'm going to be highlighting certain spirits that I'm particularly glad made it into the game, because it's showing something that's maybe very little loved. You know, you got 1,000 Pokemon, but when they can throw in something from Tokyo Mirage Sessions, that's when you realize, man, Sakurai just didn't leave anything out. And then, you know, who knows, maybe these lesser games, like Rayman made it in. Maybe it can give those series some love and appreciation, and maybe that'll get more people to recognize the genius of it. There's even some DLC spirits in here from games that weren't even finished. Man, Sakurai left nothing out. I don't know about you, but I think this is a pretty good replacement for the trophies, especially since most of these spirits came with a battle that represented their character. So we're going to start out with the Marios, as the game does. I'm going to show off the Piantas in a minute, because I actually really liked Super Mario Sunshine. It's definitely a pain to 100% complete, but it's a blast to play around with Flood the Water Pack. The graphics were really great back then. Here we are. And then Shadow Mario. I always wanted him to be a trophy, but this'll do, being an ultimate. Also, I think he'd make for a really nice alternate costume for Mario. We're in the Mario Galaxies. Look at that. You got Mario running around. You got Lubba at the steering wheel. That's detail. Then, of course, Plessie was one of the few fun parts of Super Mario 3D World. So it shows off Luigi straggling behind. And get this, the Master Cycle. That was DLC for Mario Kart 8. Man. Then they got the Paper Mario series that's actually represented Vivian and Shadow Queen, both from Paper Mario 2, that are actually good Paper Mario games. Notice how there's only one spirit from Color Splash and none from Sticker Stone. Actually, I think there was one that I missed. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That was a game not even published or developed by Nintendo. It's a shame they couldn't get the music from it, but hey, at least they got the spirits. I'm not complaining. Donkey Kong 64. That used to be a favorite of mine in my childhood, and while I'm not particularly fond of it now, it's still nice seeing them in spirit form. Frederick, of course, has got to show off Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Oh, that horrible old Zelda artwork. I can't stand it. But oh, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Can't forget about that. Oh, man, that game was so underrated. I really wish more people would play it. But knowing people, they'll probably say, well, it's got to come to the Switch eventually, Paul. Andy would have been particularly happy to see these, because that's showing the Oracle games and Link's Awakening some love, when the Oracle games haven't even been mentioned before this. There's some Link Between Worlds in there. Obviously, they'd have Breath of the Wild. Ezlo! Finally! Showing Minish Cap representation. Why did it take them until 2018 to do that? I will never know. Poochie and Yoshi get represented in yarn. That's so adorable, especially because they look almost like they're actual amiibos. There's the Robobot armor. Why couldn't I have found that when I was actually filming it? That's why I delayed a bit at this part when I was filming this, because I was like, where's the Robobot armor? I could have sworn there was a trophy of that. I'm not going crazy. Too many Pokemons to name. I'm not really a Pokemon fan, although they do have a Detective Pikachu spirit in here. There it is. Oh, I totally forgot about it when I was filming this. Poor me. Showing the Tellius games are amazing by giving Ike 2 costumes. Too bad they're stupid expensive and hard to find nowadays. Alm and Celica appear in their Fire Emblem Echoes redesigns. That's commitment. I've never been a huge fan of Lyn, so let's show off the original Fire Emblem in another way by showing Ninian, my girl. She's amazing. Princess Alincia. She was always shown off in her queen form before. Now you get to see her in a nice Victorian-era dress. Now we've got Micaiah, the first Fire Emblem Lord that didn't use a physical weapon. Tsubasa from Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Sorry if that was a bit suggestive for some of you. That's the thing about Nintendo. Hopefully I'll remember to edit in a warning when I start off this video. Showing some Sonic Forces love with Infinite there. Not that his backstory was that great. Too many Animal Crossings, just like the Amiibos. More Mega Mans than I can count. Usually my eyes sort of gloss over at this point. Then we got the Punch-Outs. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 had some of the most inappropriate costumes ever, but Mithra actually had a modest redesign. Or was that Mithra? Had a modest redesign so that this would fit an E10 rating, and they liked it so much they put it as a downloadable costume in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 in a later patch. Cloud gets a whopping 2 spirits from his series. Wow. You couldn't think of anything else from Final Fantasy? Splatoon 2's DLC gets spirits in the form of the Octolings and the Octoling Squid. Wow. That's incredible. Why couldn't we get the Master Cycle from Breath of the Wild then? The Dark Emperor shows up to show that the Street Pass Mii Plaza games weren't just all talk. Super Smash Bros. Brawl is fondly remembered. Even Smash for Wii U and 3DS have the forms that the Master Core takes. Yeah, here we go. Some Subspace Emissary enemies here. Who knows? Maybe they'll do a Subspace Emissary 2. I mean, version 3.0 got a whole announcement. Balloon fight. These drawings are atrocious, but at least they remind me of how much fun I had with that game. I actually first discovered it through Animal Crossing, because they actually had NES games in the original Animal Crossing. I don't know why they ever took that out. There's some Golden Sun. Didn't get very far in that game because I didn't like random battles. Drill Dozer was a surprisingly overlooked Game Boy Advance game because it came out in 2006, so most people had moved on to the DS by then. Chibi-Robo was another fairly underrated GameCube game. Ashley Robbins. I love Trace Memory, but sadly, North America never got its sequel, which was on the Wii in Japan and Europe. Kyle Hyde from Hotel Dusk appears. I didn't really like that game too much, but he did appear as a trophy in Brawl and came back here. Vince from Art Academy. I played that game a little bit on the DS. It involves a lot of patience. Probably is not going to make my drawing skills any better. There's a couple of Nintendogs. Zale from Last Story. I gotta re-review that game. Well, actually, I gotta review it to begin with. I just don't want nostalgia glasses getting in the way. Shovel Knight! Indie games represent Sakurai. The Arcade Bunny, how could I forget about him? There's some Ever Oasis love. QB appears as a spirit. Rayman, another Ubisoft rep. Snipper Clips, played that a little bit. ARMS was okay. I'm glad that Sakurai was able to include it somehow. And I think that's the last one I showed off. We got the partner Pokemon from Let's Go in an update. I didn't have to have it. And finally, Super Mario Party gets represented, and the first DLC. With that, thank you for watching. Keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. Bye.